Earlier this weekend, one of my clients reached out to me because he wanted to tell me the results of a course that we promoted over the weekend. It went really well, but the kicker is at the end, he said, Mike, I am never going to leave you. I'm going to work with you forever. I'm just preparing you for that. Now, this guy's been with me for over 5 years, but that is client retention. And client retention and messages like that are so important for building your business, because if you want a stable business that you can really scale to make 6 figures and beyond, especially when you're providing a freelance service, you have to retain clients. And so today I'm going to talk to you about the 3 crucial things that you need to do to be able to retain clients for 3 years, 5 years or more, and really build a stable client base to build an incredible business. Because if there's one thing that's more important than client acquisition, it's client retention. And that's what we're talking about today. Howdy and welcome back to the Laptop Empire Show. This is our final video in the Facebook Side Hustle series. It's been a lot of fun. If you haven't seen the rest yet, I encourage you to go check out our playlist. And before you do that, before we go on, definitely subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our future videos. We put new ones out every week on Tuesday. And I think we're going to do more of these kind of series because people really enjoyed going deep on a topic, instead of just a single video. So I want to do more of that. But today is probably low-key the most important part of this entire series. We've walked you through what the Facebook side hustle is, how to choose a side hustle, why we think it's the most profitable one of the year, how to build the funnels in it, how to manage, the clients, how to find the clients, all these things. And even last episode, we talked about landing clients, which you might think is the most important thing. But today we're finishing things off with client retention. And I think this is the most important thing. And I truly believe that the reason that my agency has done so well is because I've been able to retain clients for so long, right? The client that I just mentioned earlier, he's been with me for over 3 years. I have quite a few clients that have been with me for 3 years or longer. And I only have right now 1, maybe 2 clients that have been with me for less than a year and I've just had this consistent, been working with the same people for a long time. There's a lot of benefits to that. One, you don't have to worry about them going, right? Like you always, when you bring someone on, you don't really know them yet. You might be worried that they're going to come on and they're going to bail on you a month later. You put in all this work because so much of it's front loaded. And it sucks, right? Turnover sucks. But when people have been with you for a year or longer, you stop worrying about turnover and you know them better. They know you, so they trust you. They're less needy clients. They allow you to do your thing. They're more forgiving of when you need extra time or when anything happens. And of course, you aren't having to constantly chase new clients. Or if you're doing client acquisition, you're trying to grow, it's not this cycle of losing clients, getting new ones, losing clients, getting new ones where you never really grow. It's stable client retention and you just keep adding onto it and stacking and growing your business. So we're going to talk about 3 crucial things that you need to do in order to have people stay with you forever and really improve that client retention so you can really start to scale your business. All right, so the first thing is you have to deliver results. Like that's the most important thing. If you are providing a service for somebody, you have to deliver results. If they're not getting a return on their investment, they're going to leave you. So you got to be good at what you do, not just good at selling and good at finding clients. You got to be good at what you do. You got to know what you're doing. You got to deliver. And you'll learn that over time. But the better you can get at your craft and the better results you can deliver for people, the more likely they're going to stick around. The reality is people will pay you an unlimited amount of money if it's profitable. Somebody's going to pay you $5,000 per month if they're getting an extra $50,000 in profit per month from what you're doing, because people are willing to pay $1 to make $10. It's a no-brainer. Okay. But you got to deliver the results. So if you're watching this and you haven't gone through the Facebook Side Hustle series yet, you need to go through that specifically for this side hustle so you know how to deliver results. And then once you're done with that, I want you to check out this video about how to improve your Facebook ads in 10 minutes or less, because I break down a very simple system of how to analyze ad campaigns so that you can diagnose the problem and know exactly what treatment to give the campaign. You're like a Facebook ads doctor that goes in there, you look at the numbers, you say, that's the problem. That's the tumor right there. We're going to go cut it out, right? That's the disease. We're going to go cure it. And you go and you fix it and you get better results. So if you know how to diagnose and treat you're going to do really well. Your clients are going to be really happy. So delivering results is thing number one. It is super, super crucial. Number two, you need to build better client relationships. All right. A lot of my clients have become good friends of mine. All right. I talk to them about non-work stuff. Now, it's not like that with every client I have, but I have some, like the guy that I mentioned earlier in this video, that he's a good buddy of mine, right? We talk via text message. We talk about sports. We, keep track of each other's football teams. We talk about our kids. We talk about, when he built a home last year, we talked about that. Now that I'm building one, we talk about that. We developed a friendship. And so building relationships is super important, because if you have a good relationship with somebody, if they like you more, they're going to trust you more, they're going to be more forgiving, and they're going to stick around longer, right? Plus, it's just so much more pleasant. All right. It's so nice to work with people that you like, right? And that is something too you need to keep in mind. If there's people that really drain your energy, you probably shouldn't work with them. And I've gotten rid of clients that were real energy drains or I didn't like. All right. Now, not everybody's at that when they're first starting out, but eventually as you build up, that becomes really important. But there's a flip side to that too, right? You need to build that relationship as quickly as possible so that people like you and trust you and will stick around and give you a chance, because sometimes it takes experimentation and it takes work to deliver what people want from you long term. But more than that, business owners are craving connection. Okay. And if you think about, if you're watching this and you're a business owner on your own, like me, I work from home, I'm by myself. I really don't get to talk to anybody other than my kids every day. I talk to my wife in the evening, but I'm not going to the office. My wife goes to the office. She has lunch with her coworkers. She talks to people. She gets that human interaction all the time. Business owners don't always have that. And even if they're a brick and mortar business, they might have more of that than say an online business, but they might also be really busy just managing things. And so they want somebody that makes their life easier, that's easy to get along with, and doesn't create any kind of stress in their life. And they want some sort of connection. So if you can build that relationship, they're going to stick around a heck of a lot longer. And speaking of relationships, we've got a great video here from one of our coaches inside the Facebook Side Hustle course, Tanya. You got to listen. She's got a great accent. She's over on the other side of the pond in the UK. And she talks about how to build great client relationships. It's right here on the YouTube channel. You can check out that video. Some really great actionable tips to help you with this part. Number three, and this is the most important one, I believe. I mean, well, maybe not. Delivering results is pretty dang important, but I think this is the next most important thing after that. And it's communicating clearly and frequently. And in hindsight, I probably should have put this at the very beginning of the video, because if somebody stopped watching, they've missed on this. And it's so important. I want everyone to see it. I'm debating whether to re-record the video right now. So let's talk about communicating clearly and frequently. It is very important that you talk to your clients and you let them know what is happening no matter what. Even if it's something that is going bad or there's nothing going wrong, it doesn't matter what the situation is. You need to be communicating that to people clearly and frequently. You need to contact these people. So if things are going good, you need to reach out to your client and say, hey, I'm seeing this. It all looks great. Just wanted to let you know. If you need anything, I'm here, right? That builds confidence. Every touch, every communication with them builds confidence. Okay. So that's a really good thing to do. Thing number two, if it's not going well, if things aren't working, then it's more important than ever to communicate. A lot of people, when they get into a situation where, say, they're running an ad campaign or they're doing something that's not working well, it's not going well, they pull in on themselves and they just try and fix it, or they worry about what the client's going to think and they don't communicate. And by doing that, they make the situation so much worse. You need to just talk to people, let them know what's going on. All right. And I'm going to give you a simple formula because this is super, super important. Right? I run into this all the time. We run an ad campaign. It's not working. We try and fix something. It's still not working. And the client's freaking out. And the way you calm them down is by talking to them. So here's what you need to say. You just go up to them and you say, hey, so-and-so, just wanted to let you know we're having this issue right now. We think it's being caused by this. And so we're taking this action. If that doesn't work, our next step is going to be X, Y, Z. All right. So you let them know there's a problem. You're aware of it. This is what you think is wrong. this is what you're doing and this is what you'll do next, right? And I think that what you'll do next thing is really important because you need to make sure that you want them to know that like this first fix might not work. You're kind of covering your butt, but at the same time, you want to make sure that they know that you have a plan and that there's more steps, right? So for me, when I run into things with ads, like I know there's kind of a checklist of things. If something goes wrong, there might be 3 potential issues, and I'm going to start with the most likely issue and try and fix that. And if it doesn't work, I'll move to the next one, and then the next one. And it's eventually going to work, and we're going to figure it out because we're going to hustle and we're going to figure it out for our clients, part of that delivering results thing. But we need them to know it's a process, and that's really important. So you got to make sure that you communicate that very clearly to the people you're working with. Now, before we kind of go and we wrap up this video, I want to tell you a little story about why communication is so important. So back before my entrepreneur days, back when I had my first legal job, okay, partner pulled me into his office and wanted to talk to me. And I was brand new lawyer. And he said, hey, here's something that I want you to know. He goes, your clients, you need to communicate with them. It's the most important thing you can do. And he told me, like, you will stand out amongst other lawyers if you just communicate well, because most don't communicate well. And he goes, but you got to look at it from the client's perspective. When they're going through a lawsuit, it doesn't matter what it's about, whether it's a divorce, whether, it's something, a legal issue, whether it's a civil issue, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, a lawsuit is the most stressful thing going on in that person's life. You might only be working on it on certain days and at certain times and not be thinking about it all the time, but they are thinking about it every minute of every day. It's a lot of money for them. It's a lot of stress for them. And it's this huge thing that consumes them. And if you don't communicate to them what's happening, even when nothing is happening, they start to assume the worst and they start to freak out and they get mad and it causes you more problems. But if you can communicate to them, then they're going to feel a heck of a lot better. They're going to trust you more and your work life is going to be easier, but you've also given them some peace of mind. And that has always stuck with me, especially after I started getting into freelance work. Because it's the same thing for the people that have invested in you as an entrepreneur. If someone hires you to manage Facebook ads and they're paying you $1,500 per month to do this thing for them, it's a big investment. Okay. And that doesn't mean it's like so big that people aren't willing to make it or anything. People do it. But if they're paying you and they're trusting you to do this for them, it's a big deal. And beyond that, even if it's not a big investment for them and they have the money, it's their business. It's their livelihood. It is the thing that, is up there with their family is one of the most important things in their life. And they're constantly thinking about it, constantly worrying about it and trying to make sure they make the right decisions. And so if you are not communicating with them, you're causing more stress in their lives and they're more likely to leave. All right. So that same thing that this partner told me about practicing law is every bit, if not more relevant in the entrepreneur space when you're working with clients and you're helping them with their business. They're hiring you to make their lives easier. They're constantly worrying and thinking about it. And you have to be a calming presence for them and help them get results. And one of the best ways to do that is to communicate effectively. So incredibly, incredibly important stuff. And on that note, we are done. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think. And if you have other suggestions, things that you think are crucial for client retention, I'd love to hear about them. But I hope this helps you. I hope you enjoyed the Facebook Side Hustle series, and we'll see you next week.